Hello, welcome back to Foos Entertainment. This time for my review of 2017's, at least I believe it's 2017. Let me take a look on the back of here. Yeah, this one is. 2017's Spider-Man: The Homecoming. As you can see, this one's in 3D. It's one of the last Marvel movies to be in 3D on home entertainment purposes. The 3D in this movie is pretty good. It's a really 3D version of the film, so there's no IMAX 3D in this movie, but this one probably didn't have it. But I would certainly say I definitely enjoyed Spider-Man: Homecoming. I didn't think I would. And I'll explain why. Out of all the Marvel Cinematic characters, out of all the Marvel superheroes, the one that has been redone to hell is Spider-Man. He was first adapted to the big screen in 2002's Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, and you have that trilogy. Then he was completely rebooted all over again in 2010 with The Amazing Spider-Man. And then, after two films right there, here he is getting rebooted again, which of course started with Captain America: Civil War, and now with his own movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming. That's 3 times that you have adapted Spider-Man to the big screen. I don't know, maybe 10 years from now, I'll be talking about 3 more versions of Spider-Man. They keep recreating this character all the time. I just don't get why. I mean, he's kind of like Batman in that regard. I mean, how many times have they reimagined Batman in DC? You have Michael Keaton. Then you have, and of course, all the films kind of go with each other. And then, of course, you have the Dark Knight trilogy. And then you have what people call the Batflick Batman, which is Ben Affleck's Batman. That's like 3 freaking times. I mean, it's... But, I'm surprised. I'm not going to movie theaters to watch this. I got it on Blu-ray. I was very surprised. But that's probably because I was surprised when I saw Spider-Man in Captain America: Civil War, and I thought that was the truest I've ever seen of Spider-Man. It really felt like Spider-Man. And it's also the first time out of all these Spider-Man movies that you actually had a teenager playing Spider-Man. See, other people don't really know that, but both Tobey Maguire and whoever that editor guy was, the Oscar winner from Hacksaw Ridge, they're both my age. Both of them. Tobey Maguire is actually older than me now, but when he started playing Peter Parker, Spider-Man in the original trilogy, he was my age. The guy who had the Amazing Spider-Man movies was born in 1983, so he is actually my age. When it comes to Tom Holland in these movies, Tom Holland is actually a teenager. And so it's a bit different to actually have a teenager play Spider-Man, because in that comic book, Spider-Man is a teenager. He's not a 30-something-year-old man. Now, I know that some 30-something-year-old men can look like they're teenagers. Yeah, I get that. But it's more authentic when you actually have a real, actual teenager playing the character of Spider-Man. So I did like that. And the villain, wow. This is like a dream come true. It's like icing on the cake. No, it's not even icing on the cake. It's a cherry on top of the icing on the beautiful cake. We get Michael Keaton to play the villain. And of course, the best villain, in my opinion, in any Spider-Man movie is this villain. And that would be, of course, the villain of the Vulture. A very popular villain that people have always wanted to see. And Michael Keaton, wow. Yeah, let's get the best guy who's ever played Batman to play the villain in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Michael Keaton does a brilliant job in this movie. Wow. Well, let's go on to the plot of the movie. And I'm kind of getting tired of this as much a review today, so I might go a little bit quicker, but I might take my time just because. Alright, Following the events of Civil War, Peter Parker is starting a new school year in his high school. I believe he's a sophomore. The homecoming dance is coming up. He's always waiting for Stark to go ahead and call him for a next big, mission that never ever comes. And of course, he always does like all the domestic stuff, taking out little criminals, here and there, and in Queens, saving cats out of trees, stuff like that. And then he comes across this robbery at this ATM, and then he sees these people with very high-tech weapons. It's like, wait. And then they actually destroy a building. And that actually, he tells Stark about it. When he finds out that these weapons were actually scavenged, they're pieces of stuff from pretty much the first Avengers movie. So, and that's kind of what the villain does. That's why they call the villain in this movie Vulture. Is the fact that he'll actually go to, disaster zones from all the stuff that the Avengers have done saving our world, and pick up alien technology and then retrograde it and turn it into weaponry and sell to the highest bidder. That's actually what they do. That's what this villain does. Stark doesn't really pay attention to him. And then he tries to take it on its own. And then Stark gets involved, tells him to back off. You got people to do this. Now, something else that's very interesting about this movie is Tony Stark's actually in the movie, so Robert Downey Jr. actually does an integral part in this movie. He's not the main character or anything like that. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but he is in the movie. And of course, eventually, Iron Man gets pissed off at him after saving his life, when he's drowning and stuff like that. After a heads-on collision with the Vulture. And he gets all mad, takes his suit away. And then Peter Parker just takes his date to the homecoming, and then he finds out that the woman that he has a crush on, her dad is the Vulture. And so it definitely gets more interesting there. And of course, Michael Keaton's character, the Vulture's all like, you back off, or I'll kill you and everyone you care about. Monologuing. But that takes a whole new level with Michael Keaton doing it. Sorry, I'm a big Michael Keaton fan. I can't help myself. And then he doesn't listen, of course, because he's Spider-Man. He doesn't listen. He does the right thing. And so he goes after the Vulture. The Vulture buries the building on him. He's struggling. He's going to die, and he's all screaming for help. And then eventually he remembers what Tony Stark told him. If you need this suit to be Spider-Man, then there's no point. And so he finds his inner strength and gets out of the situation naturally with his powers and stuff like that. Which I thought was very cool. Very well acted, very powerful right there. Kind of teaches you something too. That, your true power comes from within. It's not part of a suit or gadgets or anything like that. It's you. And that's something that doesn't really get talked about a lot in these type of movies. And I really thought that was a cool gem right there. And of course he gets out, stops the Vulture. He even saves the Vulture's life from getting killed. And the Vulture, of course, goes to jail. And of course, because he saved the Vulture's life, saved Michael Keaton's character's life, when he's in jail, he don't narc on Spider-Man. He knows who Spider-Man is, but doesn't tell anybody. And of course, Vulture's in prison. This is actually a post-credit sequence, but I don't mind doing things out of order with this. And of course, one of the main one of our feature villains will probably end up seeing again is like, I hear you know who Spider-Man really is. And of course Vulture's like, oh, no I don't. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you, or something like that. But you don't actually not take back this Michael Keaton, obviously. I'm just playing with you there. What he says is actually much more like what I would say. If I knew who Spider-Man was, I already would have killed him. Or some shit like that. But, it definitely works. Then, of course, Stark's all happy with Spider-Man, you know, and he wants to make Spider-Man a new Avenger. And he has this, like, new, really cool suit for him and everything that actually has, like, you know, Iron Man tech on it. And Parker's like, no, I just don't want that. Because he wants to be natural. He wants to be the Spider-Man he usually is. He denies the suit and denies the promotion of being a new Avenger. And then he goes back about, you know, doing his normal thing. And that's how the movie ends. And I would say, I really did enjoy Spider-Man Homecoming. I really didn't think I would. But I actually really enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming. It was very, very good. Audio video quality. This is a Sony release, so obviously the video quality is going to be very vivid looking. It's going to have bright colors with just the balance of having warm and neutral colors with the cinematography of the film. It's going to be very high definition looking, but not too digital looking. It's going to have more of a really like a more of a vivid like look to it, and that's kind of how Sony movies are. But this definitely does not disappoint. It's a very good picture quality. Audio. This has a 5.1 DTS HD master audio track. Let me confirm that real quick. Yeah. But it is really good for a 5.1 DTS HD master audio track. There's a lot of good sound going around. I do have one little nag about it though. It seemed like it wasn't so balanced in this direction. There's a lot of sound going on all the speakers, yes, but it just, to me, it felt like it pushed a little bit more to one side than to the other side, but almost in like a stereo way. So it's not like, you know, it was completely on one side, nothing on the other side. Just, you know, it had more of a stereo thing going on. I think that's the best way to kind of put it, but still very satisfying on the sound. And no, this is not from Disney, so because Sony released a Blu-ray. So obviously the sound is not, you know, deteriorated down like Black Panther was, which makes me happy. Well, that's pretty much all there is to say about Spider-Man Homecoming. I will see you guys next time for my review of Doctor Strange, which I might add will be in 3D. And I'll be doing that next time. Until then.